Hello friends, in this video we are going to discover the top 15 best places to travel alone. Nothing sounds quite as liberating as upping sticks and going to see the world, at whatever pace, and for however long you want. The freedom of only being tied to your own schedule is the beauty of traveling solo, and it seems like lots of us are catching on. Traveling the world alone has only grown in popularity since we came out of pandemic restrictions, with many of us adopting the life's too short mindset and working up the courage to just book the damn flight. And why shouldn't we? There's such an abundance of places to travel solo, some so glorious that you won't even notice you don't have company. Of course, there are some things to consider if you're jetting off solo. Safety, especially for women travelers, is an important element to factor into your planning, among plenty of other aspects that need weighing up. We've done our research. Here is our list of the best solo travel destinations in the world. Kindly make sure to hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon before we start this video about the 15 best places to travel alone. Now let's dig deeper into each of the top 15 best places to travel alone. Number 15. Singapore. The phrase melting pot is ridiculously overused, but one place that's truly worthy of the label is Singapore. The island nation is a glorious meeting of different cuisines and cultures, with a landscape characterized by ancient temples and towering glass skyscrapers. Singapore is also incredibly safe, according to 96% of locals who we surveyed last year for our annual list of the world's best cities. There are plenty of hostels if you're wanting to meet other travelers. Spend your time soaking up the year-round tropical climate, and make sure to go on a food tour through Singapore's markets. Number 14. Croatia. Another super safe solo-friendly destination is this jewel of the Adriatic. Boundless glorious beaches, fascinating medieval towns and relatively low prices are what Croatia has become so popular for. The nightlife is another perk of this place. The festival calendar is absolutely jam-packed, and Croatian cities are known for their cheap drinks and plethora of party spots. 8 national parks are also dotted around the country. Like waterfalls? There's a whopping 90 of them at Plitvice Lakes, though if you want a dip, head to the smaller falls at Krka National Park instead. Croatia is also an underrated wine producer and, of course, a hotspot for Game of Thrones fans. Number 13. Bhutan. What could be safer than a culture so infused with Buddhism? Bhutan is definitely a place to include on your list should safety be one of your top priorities. The Trans-Bhutan Trail reopened in 2022, meaning travelers can follow in the footsteps of pilgrims and monks who trod the 400 kilometers route. The architecture is awe-inspiring, and the tiny country is of course perched on the very edge of the Himalayas, meaning the views are truly unmatched. There's also tranquil lakes, luscious green valleys and dazzling glaciers to admire. Take heed, you will need some extra cash to splash in Bhutan, as the country has a pretty steep tourist tax. Number 12. Greek islands. No matter your preferred form of travel, a spot of island hopping in Greece is almost a rite of passage for any traveler. That's why you'll meet everyone from excitable backpackers to considered veterans of the road here, each with a different story to tell. The Greek islands are gorgeous and lush, not to mention packed with excellent food. Each one seems ready to capture your heart and convince you to stay forever and ever. Kefalonia and Corfu are the most popular and thus offer endless social opportunities, while the serenity of Naxos and Icaria will appeal to more introverted explorers. Number 11. Japan. It can often feel as though Japan has been organized with solo travelers in mind. The efficiency of its transport links is as legendary as such things can be, allowing vagabonds all the time in the world to hit up the gripping cities and out-of-this-world scenery. Check out our Japan rail itinerary if you're planning to see the place by train. The Japanese are among the friendliest in the world, the food is incredible and the whole experience is exactly that, an experience. It's also another country that is consistently ranked the safest destination in the world for solo travelers. Number 10. Ireland. Irish storytelling is world famous, immortalized in the novels of Joyce, Stoker, Wilde and the rest. Spend an evening in any Dublin pub and you will almost certainly hear a tale for the ages, as locals spin yarns and transport listeners to a world within a world, one pint at a time. The friendly hospitality of the Irish guarantees good conversation, while the stunning breadth of nature here allows for tranquil walks and plenty of room to think, ideal for solo travel. Getting around also couldn't be easier, as it looks like Irish railway services are about to be amped up. Number 9. New Zealand. New Zealand is a country that just gets things right. For one, it takes its reputation as one of the safest countries in the world very seriously, meaning travelers can explore in total security. But it isn't usually safety that brings individual adventurers to New Zealand. Instead, it's the dazzling landscapes, buzzing towns and cities and convivial people that make NZ the place it is. All of the bigger towns are backpacker paradises filled with history, culture and booze. The great trifecta of backpacking, and the scenery in between is staggering. Number 8. Slovenia. Small but perfectly formed, Slovenia is a tremendous destination for solo travelers. The old 4 seasons in a day adage is very much alive and well in a place where you can spend the morning skiing in the Alps, before heading for a romantic solo sunset on the Adriatic at Piran. The capital, Ljubljana, is the perfect base for exploration, a city of friendly people and social spots, an easy bus or train from Slovenia's famous lakes and less famous postcard villages. Pro tip: pick up a €15 IZ Elitka train ticket and get unlimited travel on the weekends. Number 7. Chile. In South America, Chile leads the way in terms of quality of life and, unsurprisingly, lowest crime rate. It's the perfect destination for people traveling alone thanks to its tight-knit community of backpackers and, of course, abundance of sights to see. Atacama, the driest desert in the world, is located in the north, while there's plenty to see in Santiago, the nation's capital. You won't go thirsty either, thanks to the fantastic Chilean repertoire of beer and wine. It's also considered one of the best places in the world for stargazing, thanks to its high altitude. Number 6. Portugal. Portugal's most popular spots frequently pick up travel awards and plaudits alike, and the hype is not without good reason. Lisbon is a backpacker's dream, while the dreamlike beauty of Porto attracts wide-eyed adventurers from all over the world. The Algarve is much more than its budget holiday destination suggests, and the rest of the country is packed with stunning sights and spots. This European treasure boasts 800 kilometers of coastline, and it's a particularly surfer-friendly paradise, thanks to the fact it's perched on the edge of the Atlantic. Number 5. Vietnam. Vietnam's unique beauty and complicated history make it a compelling travel destination, particularly for those doing so alone. The country has grown into a popular traveling hotspot, and that's led to a thriving social scene. The well-established tourist route means it should be really easy to meet like-minded travelers to journey alongside. Ha Long Bay, Hanoi and the Ha Giang Loop are 3 of the nation's tourist highlights. There are also great transport networks, it's budget-friendly and full of hostels. What more could you ask for when you're traveling alone? Number 4. Canada. Canada's name is one thrown around most often when it comes to solo travel. The population has a worldwide reputation for their friendliness, and the country has everything you could want from a travel destination. Incredible off-the-grid adventure opportunities like visiting the Rockies, Niagara Falls and Banff National Park offer up plenty to see for intrepid globetrotters. However, Toronto is considered one of the world's most multicultural cities, and Vancouver is famed for its unique urban design, stunning surroundings, and the fact it's on the doorstep to some incredible nature. The weather? Not so great, but the people? Incredible. Number 3. Botswana. For those keen to explore the wonders of Africa, Botswana is likely your best bet. The country has a wealth of wildlife to appreciate and observe, with nearly 40% of its land area being devoted to national parks. The Okavango Delta, Kalahari Desert and Chobe National Park are world-renowned safari spots, home to everything from giraffes to rhinos. Botswana is also a politically and economically steady nation, and ranks highly on safety indexes for African countries. This, plus the fact that many Botswanans speak excellent English, makes it a great destination to navigate on your solo travels. Number 2. East Coast Australia. It goes without saying that Australia is absolutely massive. Massive. Ginormous. And while that fact might make it seem daunting, particularly for those of us traveling solo, most of the action is concentrated on the East Coast. There are plenty of classic routes that run from Adelaide to Brisbane and beyond, allowing intrepid explorers to visit a variety of exciting towns that each seem to have their own magnificent ocean view. Australians are famously sociable, too, so meeting new people will never be an issue in this isolated corner of our beautiful planet. Number 1. Iceland. The aptly named Land of Fire and Ice is a magnet for nature fanatics, and perfect for those traveling solo. An abundance of caves, caverns, black sand beaches, waterfalls, volcanoes and geysers should be plenty to keep you occupied, as the landscape and scope of this Nordic island is second to none. The country's charming capital, Reykjavik, is jam-packed with activity. Why not add the Blue Lagoon or the Lagervan Fontana to your to-do list for some solo relaxation? And the best thing about Iceland for solo travelers is the safety. The country is named time and time again named one of the safest places for travelers, thanks to low crime rates and a generally accepting society. It's definitely one for the bucket list. So, which is your favorite places among the top 15 best places to travel alone? Well, that's all we have for you today. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the content of this video, click the subscribe button so you can receive more content like this. Post your favorite places among the top 15 best places to travel alone in the comments below. I'd love to read them and I'm sure others would too.